All right.
Sit up straight.
In 2012, I began a photo series that led me to explore my hometown in ways I never had before. One location in particular, the first block of 2nd Street, really grabbed my attention. With its vacant storefronts and abandoned interiors, it made for some compelling photographs, but at the time it wasn't exactly a spot that you'd put on a postcard. Despite this, the images and urban exploration that I shared on Editing Luke found an audience. Whether the sudden interest was fueled by nostalgia, creative curiosity, or community pride, I'd inadvertently found myself in the middle of something amazing happening. 2nd Street, that quiet, seemingly overlooked little main street, was coming back.
Second Street felt abandoned 5 years ago. I think that there are a lot of people that would take exception to even that, because even 5 years ago there were businesses down here. There was a couple of Vietnamese restaurants which hadn't been renovated yet. Diane's Egan shop, which is really nice, it's always been nice. And then it had the old theater and not a whole lot else. And then a couple years after that, Maureen opened up Inspire.
I was born and raised in Medicine Hat, and I just grew up on 2nd Street, just a couple blocks up the street. I really thought if nobody ever makes that move to do something, then nothing is ever going to happen.
When Maureen showed me the place the first time, the inside was absolutely terrible. It had 2 shops in it for many years that had not had any restoration done to it, and I think in the middle of the whole place was this dirty old toilet sitting in the middle, and that's what Maureen said to me. Can you visualize it? Can you see our business? And that's when I smiled. I said, yes, I can see our business being here.
Think that not many people would see the potential of what it could be, but it's such an incredible building. A lot of the original features that were hidden were revealed, like the beam through the middle and the original doors.
We love music, so we brought music in. We love book readings, and we've had book readers in.
There's lots of crashing and banging, and this whole building shakes, and it's really stood the test of time. Like, there's no damage to this building itself, right? The foundation. It's really, I think it's going to be around for a long time for sure.
And it's been a trial. It's been fun, but it's been a trial the whole way. Every time it's like, okay, let's. But we've accomplished what we set out to do.
The discussion, the dialogue is very similar in every community that I've ever lived in. What can we do to save downtown or bring downtown back?
For me, looking back at my whole 33 years of experience downtown, I would say being positive as we go along. I mean, that positivity, I think, is really a real gift. And I think it's contagious. Just the connections, almost like a little village, relying on each other to, how about this, not relying, but support. It's not something really big that makes the street or downtown, it's just small things that can lead to bigger things.
In late 2013, I was part of a collaborative exhibition called Thinking Hat, which was held in a then vacant beverage building on 2nd Street. Partnered with Spectacle Bureau for Architecture and Urbanism, my images showcased what was, their images showcased what could be, and together we found ourselves witnessing something bigger. With a street dug up for upgrades out front, a new coffee shop called Station under construction just a few doors down, and a vacant beverage building prepped for someone to step in following our exhibition. It's in retrospect that I can see how close we were to what had been happening on 2nd. With key individuals stepping up, it was clear the tide was turning on 2nd Street.
Yeah, basically since I started here, I just kind of cleaned some of the old. Put your ads on the screen for the movie, like come get your popcorn now or whatever, they'd slide that in there. I've seen people, I've witnessed people that come in that had never been in here, or it's been so long since they've been in here, they were basically kids and they kind of remember what it was like back then, and they come in like, wow, this place is, you know, it's improved and it's kept up, basically is what they say. You know, it's more of just like that old time kind of feel to it, which a lot of people appreciate once they actually come here and experience it.
You know, if you're traveling around and you're in a new city, going downtown is a really great way to see kind of what they're all about and who's there and what are they trying to accomplish, and it's just different everywhere, and I really like that about it.
The city did a fantastic job in doing really boring things like laying concrete and putting planters together.
A place with food and gathering is always going to be a destination place, like Inspire, with the art down there. And then Station Coffee came in, and now we have the Vietnamese restaurants and the Asian restaurant. And
where Valhalla Pure is now, and where the beverage is now, and now in this building.
Oh, look at what's happening here. And I remember probably 3 days after the street opened up, this building across from me sold. And then the next one sold. And I was really surprised, but yet I thought, oh my goodness, this is gonna work after all.
remember the first night, I had a night off and my husband came home and he said, "Your wish has just been prompted." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I just drove past the cafe and there was two ladies having a glass of wine, visiting. There was a lady reading a book with her coffee cup. And there was no music going on that night." He said, "But that's exactly all the things that you wish for when you opened the restaurant." So it was quite nice. We quite enjoyed that part.
It's always interesting to me because people now say, "Oh, Second Street's kind of that funky, artsy kind of street." And objectively, people are starting to notice that as well.
I think once you come downtown and you experience it, it's changed. It's not hard once you're here.
I see that all the time, because I see visitors that come from other places and they're fascinated. Like they come and they go, "Wow, we love your downtown." And then when we're here all the time, we live here, we're like, "Oh, downtown."
I don't think there's ever going to be not an issue on parking. Parking is always going to be an issue. People only complain about parking when it's a place they have to kind of go to or don't really want to be there.
I think a lot of people can say a lot of things about places they've never been or things that they've never done, but
When a good show is on at the Monarch, people will park 3 blocks away and be in their snowsuit if it's a bad night and getting there, and they don't complain about the parking. They just talk about how great the show was.
There's so much to do without people realizing it.
It is a very pretty little downtown in a very pretty small city on the Canadian prairies.
for the couple of people who say, "Oh, I don't go there," then you're missing out. But it's eventually you'll get down here. It just when the thing that is drawing you is available to you downtown, you will come down and see it. And that's always changing. You just have to be kind of in the loop.
The evolution of 2nd Street isn't a story of if you build it, they will come. It's a story about individuals who recognized that sometimes if you want something to work in your community, you have to be the one to step up and make it happen. In the end, this is just one block in one small city. But with its retail and office spaces, its cafes, galleries, coffee shops, its movie theater, and event spaces. It's working. These businesses are working, and the narrative here is changing. But hey, you don't have to take my word for it. You can come down and see it for yourself. On 2nd.
We've started this downtown and I think it has to be encouraged to carry on.
You already have a way with people, but your old man has yet to find. Please stay this gentle and kind. Oh, and none of us can wait to get to know you better, to see who lives behind those blues. And on your first day, doing anything new, we will always be right there with you. You're welcome here, welcome here. Our hearts you hold hostage, that much is clear. You are most welcome here. Welcome here. Our hearts been taken hostage by the sweetest little deer, and you are most welcome.